Hare Krishna, Maharaj, Shravudev, Prabhus and Matajis. Please accept my humble obeisances of Grisha Prabhupada. All glories to Shri Guru Parapara. We are very happy to welcome you all to our first session of the 7th online program as organized by His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Swami. And this time, we will be celebrating the Divine Appearance Day of Lord Nityānanda, who is also Lord Balaram, and who is the embodiment of mercy, kindness, and compassion. To kick off our first session of the online event, we would like to seek the blessing and permission of His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Swami. And to show him our gratitude, we would like to invite His Grace Mahatma Prabhu from Mauritius to come forward for the garland ceremony. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj and all the devotees assembled here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna. Hare Krishna. And we would also like to welcome His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj with us, who's already connected. So dearest devotees, for your information, this session, our online event, will be interpreted in both Hindi language and Portuguese language. And then we invite you all to watch the self-explanatory video to understand how to tune in the right channel.
Hare Krishna, queridos devotos, reverências, todas as glórias a Srila Prabhupada. Hoje teremos interpretação simultânea para a língua portuguesa. Se você desejar ouvir em português e estiver no computador, clique no ícone do globo no canto inferior direito da sua tela. Em seguida, selecione o idioma português. Para os usuários de celular, clique no ícone mais, depois no ícone do globo e em seguida escolha o canal de português. Muito obrigada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
आज हिंदी भाषा में अनुवाद की सुविधा उपलब्ध है। अपने कंप्यूटर पर हिंदी इंटरप्रिटेशन चैनल तक पहुंचने के लिए कृपया अपनी स्क्रीन के निचले दाएं कोने में ग्लोब आइकन पर क्लिक करें। इसके बाद हिंदी चैनल पर क्लिक करें। मोबाइल उपयोगकर्ताओं के लिए अधिक आइकन पर क्लिक करें, फिर भाषा व्याख्या के लिए ग्लोब आइकन पर और हिंदी चैनल का चयन करें। आपको धन्यवाद। हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you. And now, dearest devotees, let us have a look on our today's schedule and what the devotees have organized, prepared for us on your screen right now. Thank you. So we will start our first part of our session with a talk by His Holiness 𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐵 Maharaj, and the topic will be the qualities of Lord Nityānanda, which will be followed by a special quiz session. And then the second part of our program, we will be having His Holiness Bhakti Trayodaśī Maharaj, and the topic is first time of Lord Nityānanda from Adivila. And then we will end up with a dance and then bhajan. Thank you. And dearest devotees, just for your information, to be able to have full option and full access on the web, on the Zoom platform, you will find a box or a notification on your screen where the host would like to promote you as a panelist. So please accept it so that you have full option on Zoom, and then also you will be able to put on your cameras. Thank you. And the second part is, do you have any query? Should you have any information to ask or any kind of question? Do not hesitate to ask my servant from the chat box. Great. And now we shall officially start our today's session. Today we have the supreme privilege and honor to have with us one of a very special personality in our society, one of our pioneer and a very dedicated disciple of Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness 𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐵 Swami, who joined our Krishna Consciousness Society in 1969 when he was still a student at the university in Boston. After graduating from there, he accepted formal initiation from Srila Prabhupada and received the name of 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺 and became a leading member of Boston Center. Soon after, he went to India with Srila Prabhupada to help him to establish his mission in India. In 1972, Srila Prabhupada appointed 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺 as president of 𝐶𝐾 Bombay and trustee of Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. Since then, he has made many significant contributions to Srila Prabhupada's mission, most notably overseeing all kinds of development of Hare Krishna land in Juhu, Bombay. He was instrumental in the acquisition and development of the Bhaktivedanta Ashram in Govardhan, and led the development of Kirtan Ashram for women, the Bhaktivedanta Hospice, and the Vrindavan Institute of Palliative Care, all in Vrindavan. Through his effort, 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺 Maharaj has become renowned for the austerities he has accepted, his loyalty and dedication to Srila Prabhupada's mission, his ability to raise funds and cultivate important members of society, and his care for devotees all around the world. In 1977, 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺 Swami was awarded the Renounced Order of Life and appointed president of 𝐶𝐾 Board of Trustees in India. In 1982, he was appointed to 𝐶𝐾 Governing Body Commission, and he went on to oversee the society activities in Bombay, Mauritius, South Africa, Spain, Portugal, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan. 𝐤𝐤𝐴𝐺 Swami has also taught at the Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education and continues to lecture and to give presentations at Japa retreats and workshops all around the world. Presently based in California, 𝐤𝐤𝐴𝐺 Swami is now focusing on one of the personal instructions he received from Srila Prabhupada, and that is to write books. He's the author of Watering the Seed and Many Moon, and is working on several publications, including book about death and dying in Vedic tradition. his search for spiritual master, and his early days in the Boston Temple. He traveled with Srila Prabhupada in India and Srila Prabhupada monumental effort in Bombay and Vaishnav holidays. We would like to call His Grace Nityānanda Prabhu from Mauritius for the Golan, please.
Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances as the distributor of the state. So on behalf of His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Maharaj and all his disciples and well-wishers, please accept this Golan, Maharaj.
Thank you. I got it all the way in India.
Very cool.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. And we humbly request you to start today's session. And the topic is the qualities of Lord Nityānanda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I'll begin by singing the Mangalacharana prayers and leading a short kirtan. And then I will speak about the most merciful Lord Nityānanda. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagratam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Stam Sadevam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityānanda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajakacharya Stotra Satasri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajakacharya Stotra Satasri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityānanda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Glories to Sri Prabhupada. So now, my dear devotees, we shall speak about the merciful Lord Nityānanda. We will be speaking about his qualities, but it's also not possible to discuss his qualities without discussing his pastimes also. And I'll begin with some preliminary discussion of the Absolute Truth. According to the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Absolute Truth is realized in three features. Preliminary is Brahman, the impersonal light that emanates from the transcendental form of the Lord. Next is Paramatma, the localized super soul within the hearts of all living entities. And the last word in realization of the Absolute is Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. The Gyanis, who realize the impersonal Brahman, experience only the Sat, eternal aspect of the Absolute Truth. The yogis who realize the Paramatma within the heart experience the eternal Sat and cognizant Chit features of the Absolute Truth. But only the devotees who realize Krishna experience Ananda, bliss, which is the goal and ultimate nature of every living entity. When an interviewer once asked Srila Prabhupada, what is the goal of life? Srila Prabhupada replied, the goal of life is to enjoy. Now, the effort to enjoy materially through the mind and senses leads only to frustration and misery. But spiritually, one can enjoy in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that pleasure, unlike the temporary so-called happiness of the material world, is eternal. And that eternal happiness can be realized through the mercy of Sri Nityānanda Prabhu. Nitya means eternal, and Ananda means bliss. So if we come in touch with Lord Nityānanda, we can realize the eternal bliss for which we are hankering. How do we become eligible for Lord Nityananda's mercy? That we can learn from the description of his qualities and pastimes in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the most authorized book, biography, about the teachings and activities of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityānanda and their associates. There are a number of verses that summarize the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityānanda, but one is especially instructive from Adi Lila, chapter 17, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in his youth. Text 17. Tabe sachi dekila Rama Krishna dui bai, tabe nistarila Prabhu jagai madai. Translation. Thereafter, Mother Sachi Devi saw the brothers Krishna and Balaram in their manifestation of Lord Chaitanya and Nityānanda. Then the Lord delivered the two brothers, Jagai and Madhai. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. One night, Sachi Devi dreamt that the deities in her house, Krishna and Balaram, had taken the forms of Chaitanya and Nityānanda and were fighting one another, as children do, to eat the Naivedya, or offering to the deities. On the next day, by the will of Lord Chaitanya, Sachi Devi invited Nityānanda to take prasad at her house. Thus Vishwambar, Lord Chaitanya, and Nityānanda were eating together. And Sachi Devi realized that they were none other than Krishna and Balaram. Seeing this, she fainted. So the story is that Sachi Devi had a dream and told her son Nimai, last night I had a wonderful dream, and in this dream you and Nityānanda went into my deity room, and you picked up the deity of Balaram, and Nitai picked up the deity of Krishna, and the deities started to protest. You can't take us from the altar. You can't take us out of the deity room. And you and Nityānanda replied, your days of stealing butter and playing pranks are over. Now you are appearing as Brahmins to chant the holy names. Then they started to fight over Mother Sachi's offerings. And Krishna and Balaram said, these are meant for us. You can't have them. And Gaur Nitai were saying, but now you have appeared as us, so we can take them. Mother Sachi asked Lord Chaitanya, what do you think of this dream? And Lord Chaitanya said, "This is a very wonderful dream, but don't tell anyone about it." Because he was concealing his identity as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he didn't want to know that anyone to know that he was Krishna and Nityānanda was Balaram. Then Lord Chaitanya said, "I would go into the deity room and have Mahaprasad and see that half of it was gone." His wife, Vishnupriya, was listening to this, and he knew that she was listening. So he said, "When I would see half of the offering was gone, I would suspect that it was Vishnupriya who took the Mahaprasad. But now I am seeing that these deities are very mystical, and I am suspecting that they themselves might be eating half of the remnants meant for us." He continued, "Anyway, I think tomorrow you should invite Nityānanda for lunch." So she did, and as they were having lunch, she saw them transform themselves into Krishna and Balaram, and she fainted. So now we come back to Srila Prabhupada's purport. 𝐤𝐢𝐳 and 𝐁𝐻𝐈 were two brothers born in Navadvip in a respectable Brahmin family, who later became addicted to all kinds of sinful activities. By the order of Lord Chaitanya, both Nityānanda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur used to preach the cult of Krishna consciousness door to door. In the course of such preaching, they found 𝐤𝐻𝐈 and 𝐁𝐻𝐈, two maddened, drunken brothers, who, upon seeing them, began to chase them. The next day, 𝐁𝐻𝐈 struck Nityānanda Prabhu on the head with a piece of earthen pot, thus drawing blood. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard of this, he immediately came to the spot, ready to punish both brothers. But when the all-merciful Lord Gauranga saw 𝐤𝐻𝐈's repentant behavior, he immediately embraced him. By seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face and embracing him, both the sinful brothers were at once cleansed. Thus they received initiation into the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra from the Lord and were delivered. So this is a very important pastime of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityānanda, and it is worth considering in detail because it will give us an insight into the actual mission of Gaur Nitai, and through parampara, reciprocal succession, the mission of Srila Prabhupada, and consequently, the mission of his followers. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityānanda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur to go into Navadvip to approach whomever they met on the way, and go door to door and approach people at home and request them to chant the name of Krishna, to worship Krishna, to accept Krishna as their life and soul and the treasure of their wealth, and not to distinguish between who was qualified and who was not. Many people in Navadvip were pious, and when Nityānanda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur approached them, they accepted the request, and they all developed pure love for Krishna. One day, as Nityānanda and Haridas Thakur were making their way around Navadvip, they saw a large crowd of people watching a spectacle from a distance. When they approached, they saw the two drunken brothers, 𝐤𝐻𝐈 and 𝐁𝐻𝐈. The townspeople explained, they were born in a respectable Brahmin family, but in their youth they fell into bad association and have engaged in all sorts of sinful, horrible activities. They drink wine, they murder people, they burn down people's houses, they loot and rob and plunder them, they rape women, they eat cow's flesh. There is not a sin they have not committed. They are extremely dangerous, and the whole of Navadvip lives in fear of them. Nityānanda Prabhu thought, So far, we have been approaching pious folks, and they've taken up the order of Mahaprabhu and become pure lovers of Krishna. But no one really knows the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. If we can convert 𝐤𝐢𝐳 and 𝐁𝐸, then everyone will know the magnitude of Mahaprabhu's mercy. So Nityānanda Prabhu, accompanied by Haridas, approached the drunken brothers and delivered the message. Chant Krishna's name, worship Krishna, follow Krishna's instructions, glorify Krishna, and give up your sinful activities. The two were physically powerful, very powerful and very arrogant, and they became enraged. Who are these people to tell us to worship Krishna and give up our activities? They decided to kill Haridas and Nityānanda and started to pursue them, shouting, "Kill them, kill them, kill them." They were running after them, and Nityānanda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur were running for their lives. While they were fleeing, Nityānanda Prabhu said, "Haridas, I think this is the end of both of us. This is it." And Haridas replied, "I think you are right." Then Nityānanda said, "But you were caned in 22 marketplaces and Krishna saved you. So why don't you pray to Krishna now to save us?" And Haridas said, "Yes, but at that time, I wasn't associating with a madman like you. You went up to the two biggest demons on the planet and told them to chant Hare Krishna and give up their sinful activities. All the townspeople told us, stay away from them. They are very dangerous, but you didn't listen." Nityānanda Prabhu defended himself. "You are blaming me, but actually I am not the one to blame. It is your master, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who is responsible. Never in the history of the world has a Brahmin acted like him, like a king ordering people to go out in the town and approach people, whether they are pious or sinful, and ask them to chant Hare Krishna. I was just following his order, so don't blame me, blame him." And he added, "If we don't obey his order, we're finished. And if we do obey his order, we're finished." Like that, they were joking and laughing as they were fleeing for their lives, with 𝐤𝐢𝐳 and 𝐁𝐸 in hot pursuit. Eventually, 𝐤𝐢𝐳 and 𝐁𝐸, though strong and powerful and angry, could not keep up. They were a little heavy and quite drunk, so eventually they fell behind, and Nityānanda and Haridas ran to Mahaprabhu. The Lord had asked them to come to report to him every evening after their preaching, and they told him what had happened. When he asked, "Who are these 𝐤𝐢𝐳 and 𝐁𝐸?" Gangadas Pandit and Srivas Thakur explained, "They are most sinful. The whole of Navadvip lives in terror because of them. They kill people, they rape women, they burn down people's houses, they plunder their riches, they drink strong liquor, and they eat cow flesh." Mahaprabhu said, "I will kill them. I will cut them to pieces." But Nityānanda Prabhu, and this is his extreme mercy, said, "No, Lord, don't do that. Don't harm them. In Kali Yuga, our mission is not to kill the demons, but to deliver them. And in Kali Yuga, pretty much everyone will be like 𝐤𝐈 and 𝐁𝐸. So don't kill them. You give them to me. I will take charge of them." Gauranga Mahaprabhu agreed. "All right, I put them in your charge, and because you want to give them mercy, I predict that very soon they will be delivered. While Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was speaking with Nityānanda, Haridas Thakur, who was sitting with Advaitacharya, said, "You do not know how difficult it is to have a Sankirtan partner who is a madman. He is an avaduta. He goes to people's houses and steals their butter and yogurt. If the householder came out and pursued them, Nityānanda Prabhu, who was younger, would be gone, and they would catch Haridas. Sometimes Nityānanda would ride on people's bulls and say, 'I am Mahesh.' And sometimes he would milk the cows and drink all the milk. Sometimes he would approach small boys and say, 'I'm going to beat you.' And they would come frightened and run home to their parents. And their fathers would come out with sticks to protect their child. And Nityānanda would escape, but they'd catch Haridas. And he would fall at their feet and plead, 'Please, please, it's not what you think.' And sometimes Nityānanda would go up to innocent young girls and say, 'I want to marry you.' But, Haridas said, and again he's speaking with the Advaitacharya, but Haridas said, the worst was today. Everyone told us to stay away from these drunken demons, and he went right up to them and said, 'Give up your sinful activities, surrender to Krishna and chant Krishna's name.' They almost killed us. We barely escaped with our lives." Advaitacharya began to laugh in ecstasy, but with a little anger, and said, "Why are you surprised? It is the nature for drunkards to associate with other drunkards. Nityānanda Prabhu is always intoxicated with Krishna prema, prema ras. So it is natural for him to want to associate with other drunkards. But you are a Naistika brahmachari, sober and learned. So why are you associating with those three? You let them associate with each other. Why should you get involved with them?" Then he said, "I know the power of my Nityānanda, and you will see within 1 or 2 days, these rogues will be chanting and dancing in kirtan with us." A day or two later, as Nityānanda Prabhu was wandering around Navadvip in his playful mood, he again came upon the 2 drunk brothers. And again he approached them and delivered the same message. And again Madhai was enraged. "Who is this person? We almost killed him the other day, and still he is coming back. Who does he think he is?" Then he asked, "Who are you? What is your name?" Nitai replied, "I am Avadut." Avadut, as many of you or all of you might know, means beyond the regulated principles. Nitai replied, "I am Avadut," and that was it. Madai picked up a clay pot, and with all of his immense strength, he smashed the head of Nityānanda Prabhu and cut a big gash. Blood covered Nitai's face and gradually his whole body. "I don't mind that you struck me," he told Madai. "But what really pains me is how much you are suffering in ignorance. Please accept the mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and you'll be happy." That infuriated Madai even more. So he picked up another pot, wanting to kill Nitai. He was ready to smash him, but Jagai intervened and said, "Stop it. Can't you see that this is a genuine saintly person? That he actually has love for you and feels compassion for you? He is trying to help you. What will you gain by killing such an innocent soul?" Meanwhile, the news of Madai's attack reached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he rushed to the scene. as Prabhupada said, angry as fire, and immediately called for his Sudarshan chakra to kill them. The chakra came like the blazing sun, but Nityananda Prabhu intervened. Lord, don't kill them, he beseeched Mahaprabhu. I am going to, Lord Chaitanya replied. They have harmed my Nitai and I'm going to kill them. Still, Nityananda said, but 𝐤𝐢𝐳 saved me. Madai was wanting to kill me, but 𝐤𝐢𝐳 stopped him. He saved my life. When Mahaprabhu heard that, his heart melted and the chakra immediately disappeared. He embraced 𝐤𝐲 and said, you have saved my Nitai. You have saved my Nitai. I forgive you for all that you have done. After embracing him, he manifested a four-armed form with the symbols of Vishnu, the club, disc, lotus, and conch, placed his lotus foot on the heart of 𝐤𝐲, and filled him with ecstatic love for Krishna. And 𝐤𝐲 was weeping in ecstasy. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu turned his attention back to Madai. He was still angry and ready to kill him. But Madai's heart had also changed. The Chaitanya Bhagavat describes that the two of them, 𝐤𝐲 and Madai, were so close they were like one soul in two bodies. So by 𝐤𝐲's heart changing, Madai's heart also changed. And of course, he didn't want to be killed. So he said, you have given mercy to 𝐤𝐲, but we are together. We've done everything together. Whenever we plundered someone's house, we did it together. Whenever I burned down someone's house, he was with me. Whenever I drank liquor, he was with me. Whenever I ate cow's flesh, he was with me. We did everything together. So why are you giving him mercy and not me? You should give me mercy too. Mahaprabhu replied, no, I will not give you mercy because you have hurt my Nitai. Madai said, we've read in scriptures that so many demons attacked you with weapons and you delivered them all. So you should deliver me too. And Mahaprabhu replied, no, I will not deliver you. Nityananda's body is more dear to me than my own. Those demons attacked my body and I delivered them. But you attacked Nitai's body, which is more dear to me. I will not forgive you. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was poised to kill Madai, and Madai pleaded for mercy. Then Mahaprabhu showed the way. You beg for Nitai's mercy. If he gives you mercy, then I will spare you. So Madai prayed to Nityananda Prabhu, and Mahaprabhu told Nitai, if you actually forgive him, then you should embrace him. And Nityananda, his whole body still covered with blood, picked up Madai, who had prostrated himself, and embraced him. That is how merciful Nityananda Prabhu is. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, all right, I will spare you. Nitai said, now I give him to you. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Madai Prema Bhakti. This is inconceivable. He gave him something that Lord Brahma doesn't have. He gave him something that great rishis and sages and devas are endeavoring to get. He gave it to Madai and 𝐤𝐲, and they were the most horrible, sinful reprobates. So all that Nitai wanted came true. Later, back at Mahaprabhu's house, the devotees had Sankirtan, and Mahaprabhu said that all of Nitai's desires would come true. Nitai was thinking, if these two demons, the worst on the planet, could receive Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, then my traveling everywhere and preaching will be successful. He thought, If I can convert these two demons to accept the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then I can actually consider myself a servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if these two demons chant and dance in ecstasy with the Vaishnavas, I consider that my name, Nityānanda, has value and is true. There was a big festival of Kirtan, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Don't any of you think that 𝐤𝐢𝐳 and Madhai are sinful. I will accept their sinful reactions. Just watch." And as Gauranga, in his beautiful golden form, began to accept their sinful reactions, his body turned black. "What do you see? What do I look like?" he asked Advaitacharya. "I see Sham Sundar," Advaita replied. "Gaur Sundar has become Sham Sundar." Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, "Now how will I get free from these sinful reactions?" "It will be through Harinam Sankirtan. So all of you do Harinam Sankirtan, and I will be relieved of these sinful reactions." But then where will the sinful reactions go? My dear devotees, please pay close attention to this answer. So, all of you do Harinam Sankirtan, and I will be relieved of these sinful reactions. But then where will the sinful reactions go? Into the hearts of those who blaspheme Vaishnavas, who criticize devotees. So, my dear devotees, we should be very careful about blaspheming Vaishnavas. So, they had ecstatic kirtan, and Mahaprabhu with his black form was dancing in ecstasy, and gradually the black went away. His form became lighter, and he resumed his original beautiful, fair Gauranga golden hue. Anyway, after that, 𝐤𝐢𝐳 and Madhai, especially Madhai, were very repentant. And Nityānanda Prabhu tried to pacify them, and he gave them advice how they could become freed from their lamentation. So to conclude, I will quote one of my favorite statements by Srila Prabhupada. He said, "To approach Radha and Krishna, you need the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, you need the mercy of Lord Nityānanda. And to get the mercy of Lord Nityānanda, you have to approach people like 𝐤𝐢𝐳 and Madhai." So if we ever feel, oh, I'm too high, I'm too holy, I can't approach these people, we should think of that instruction and Srila Prabhupada's own example and Nityānanda Prabhu's example, and really pray, beg, to be humble instruments of their love and mercy and compassion. As Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj told him, that will be good for you and good for the people who hear you. So, my dear devotees, it was a great honor and pleasure and privilege to be with all of you on this auspicious occasion to discuss the glorious qualities of Sri Nityānanda Prabhu. And now I believe, according to the schedule, we have some time for questions and answers. A little time for questions and answers.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much for this wonderful talk. Yes, we can, if anyone has any question, you can raise your virtual hand, please. And in the meanwhile, we already have one question in the chat box, which I will read it out so that Maharaj, you can give an answer.
Okay.
It will be in the chat box as well. So question 1 is, in Chaitanya Lila, we see that everybody is transformed so immediately, almost instantly. But when we see our current situation or ourselves, it seems to be very slow process, a very, very slow process. Why?
I'm sorry, I missed the last part of the question.
Yeah, sorry, just repeated, Maharaj. In Chaitanya Lila, we see that everybody is transformed so immediately, almost instantly being transformed. But when we see our current situation or ourselves, it seems to be very slow progress. Why is that case?
You know, Srila Prabhupada gave one talk in Australia, and a devotee in the audience asked him how long it takes to become Krishna conscious. And Srila Prabhupada replied, 1 moment. It can take 1 moment if you're ready. So, yes, it's true. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityānanda Prabhu were extremely powerful and also extremely merciful. And but even if we take 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐝𝐷𝐼, it wasn't really immediate. I mean, it took a few days before they were actually delivered and converted. But we should, you know, do the best we can. Yeah, and depend on the mercy of Gaura-Nitāya and Srila Prabhupada and the Parampara. And we should be patient. The Upadeshamrita, the nectar of instruction, enumerates 6 items that are necessary for the successful execution of devotional service, beginning with utsaha, nischayat, daryat. And utsaha means enthusiasm. Daryat means confidence, and utsaha, nischayat means confidence, and daryat means patience. So we need both enthusiasm and patience. Srila Prabhupada said, enthusiasm without patience can lead to a desire to control. And patience without enthusiasm can lead to lethargy. So it seems that I'm just judging from the question, but it seems that you're enthusiastic, but you might not be patient enough. So be patient, and you will be delivered by the grace of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Sri Gaura-Nitāya, just like 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐝𝐷𝐼.
Very cool. Thank you so much for this wonderful answer, Maharaj. Can we take one more question?
Sure.
Do you have time? Yes. So we have His Grace Nityānanda Prabhu, who has raised his virtual hand. We invite him to ask his question. Nityānanda Prabhu, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
You mentioned that when 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐝𝐷𝐼 were delivered, then they were lamenting, they were repenting, and then they were given advice how to get rid of that lamentation. So what was the advice, Maharaj?
Yes, that's a good question. I didn't want to prolong the discussion too much, but it's important. So I'll explain that. So So all the Vaishnavas accepted Jagai and Madai, but especially Madai felt guilty because he had tried to kill Nityānanda Prabhu, who was the cause of his deliverance. He was very sad. Nityānanda Prabhu could see this and inquired, "You've been liberated. You've been given prema bhakti. Why are you so sad? Don't be sad." Madai replied, "When I think that I tried to kill you, I feel terrible. I just cannot forgive myself." Nityānanda told him, "I accept you like my son. Sometimes a child will hit the parent, but the parent doesn't take it seriously. I forgive you." Madai said, "But what about all the other people I wronged and caused pain to? I was so intoxicated, I don't even know who they are. I don't even know how to ask them to forgive me. I hurt so many." And Nityānanda Prabhu said, "You should make a ghat, a bathing ghat at the Ganges, a very beautiful ghat, with your own hand. And when people come to take bath, you prostrate yourself before them and ask them to forgive you. And serve whoever comes in a menial way. Being close to the Ganges, you will be purified." So Madai did that. And when people saw how humble he and his brother had become, their hearts melted, and they gave them all affection and respect. But there were some people who were still angry, who had been so hurt by the brothers, by Madai in particular. And seeing him in that humble position, they would take up a stone and throw it at his head. Madai now was so meek, however, that he would pick up the stone and return it to them, saying, "I'm so sinful. I have caused so much pain to others. Once is not enough. You should hit me again." And then even the people who were the most upset and angry had to forgive him and embrace him. So that is the mercy of Gaur Nitai. And that was all that Nityānanda Prabhu wanted came to pass.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. We are coming towards the end of our session. We would really like to thank you for this wonderful talk, and especially for the important point that you made on simple reaction. And the key success in our spiritual life is to be patient and also to keep on being enthusiastic and being patient. And Maharaj, we see the opportunity to express our sincere gratitude for your priceless contribution in our Western society, and we pray to be always following on your footsteps. And thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you. So if we're ending this session now, I suggest we conclude with Vaishnava Pranam.
Yeah.
Well, you're going on to another speaker? Okay, that's
not really a speaker, but we still have some time, Maharaj. I mean,
we have, well, Kamala Sundari, wait. Kamala Sundari wanted to ask a question. So if we have a little time, maybe we can let her ask her question, and then we can offer Vaishnava.
Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada in your divine grace. Guru Maharaj, my question was about Harinam Sankirtan, and this process is so simple that we have to just go on Harinam Sankirtan to get Lord Nityananda's mercy. But I wanted to know, like, when we go on Harinam Sankirtan, how do we know that we're receiving this mercy? How do we know that we're actually pleasing the Lord?
Well, when we go on Harinam Sankirtan, we should, as with any chanting, we should try to hear the holy name. Of course, it's good that we go on Harinam Sankirtan, but we should also be attentive to the holy name while we are chanting on the Harinam Sankirtan. And if we are attentive, if we absorb ourselves in the transcendental sound vibration of the holy names during the Harinam Sankirtan, then not only will Lord Nityānanda be pleased, but we will be able to feel the reciprocation from him and from the holy name and from Srila Prabhupada and the Parampara. So yeah, it's not automatic. But we're putting ourselves in a position where we can receive Lord Nityananda's mercy if we do it properly. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much, Maharaj. So what I wanted to say is that this is the first part of the program with you as our first main speaker. So we would thank you. If Dhira would like to say a few words.
All obeisances to His Holiness Girira Maharaj for a beautiful nectarian explanation on Nityānanda, and it is shower for the soul, and we cannot thank enough for this beautiful rendition of how we should take shelter on Nityānanda. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for this beautiful narration.
Well, thank you for your kind and encouraging words. It is a pleasure to serve you and your devotees always.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. We are praying to have you again and again on our online event. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dearest devotees. Now we are moving on with our today's schedule to go to the second part. And now we would like to invite you all to join us for a very nice video presentation made by the kids from Ghana, that the offering of love, which is on your screen right now.
Hare Krishna.
Nityānanda Chandra.
One who is eternally blissful and has a moon like a lotus feast.
Atita Pavana Nityānanda Ram. One who is eternally joyful and savior of the fallen. Hare Krishna.
Nityānanda Avaduta. One who is eternally happy and transcendentally mad.
Nityānanda Mahajan. One who is eternally blissful and magnanimous.
Very wonderful presentation from our devotee kids from Ghana, and we would like to thank them from the bottom of our heart to have participated, and this includes Bhakta Aditya, Bhakti Radha, Bhakta Raghupati, Bhakti Chaitanya Priya, Bhakta Nathan, Bhakta Baladev, Bhakta Jita, Bhakti Ganga, Bhakti Maharani, Bhakti Cecilia, Bhakti Precious, Bhakti Purvi, and Bhakti Loka Janani. Thank you so much for this wonderful offering. And now, dearest devotees, we move on the next part, which is the fun part of today's event, and we are moving to our quiz session. The quiz session this time is slightly different because we have a few videos which has been prepared again by the Ghana devotees from Ghana Yatra, from which you will see a video. We will have 3 videos altogether, one by one. And then from the videos, they will depict, which will depict a pulse time. And then you have to guess the pulse time. And you have to give the right answer, which will happen on a poll on your screen, right? So let's go to question 1. Identify the pulse time of Sri Nityānanda Prabhu from the following videos on your screen right now. And the answers for this question is A, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordering both of them to call everyone for Bhagavatam class. B, Sri Mahaprabhu ordering both of them to collect alms every day. C, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordering both of them to preach the holy name of Krishna. And D, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is stopping them from disturbing people. The poll will appear on your screen now. Please choose the correct answer. You have 10 seconds to choose the right answer. And the fastest you choose it, the quicker you are liable to win. And here we go. The correct answer is C, Sri Mahaprabhu ordering both of them to preach the holy name of Krishna. Let us learn a bit more about this first time now. So, one day, the Lord suddenly ordered Nityānanda and Haridas as follows. Listen, Nityānanda, listen, Haridas, go out and preach my order everywhere. Go to every house and beg in this way. Chant the name of Krishna, worship Krishna, follow Krishna's instruction. Apart from this, you should not speak or have others to speak anything else. At the end of the day, come and give me your report. And this is from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Leela. Thank you. Now, dearest devotees, let's move on to question 2. Again, it is identify the pastime of Sri Nityānanda Prabhu from the video, which is on our screen. So, identify the first time of Lord Nityānanda and Sri Haridas Thakur from the video. A, they are begging villagers for milk and sweet rice, but villagers got angry and ran after them. B, they are trying to preach to the two brothers Jagai and Madai, who in turn wanted to beat them up and ran behind them. C, they are asking villagers for money, but villagers get angry as they do not have enough money. D, they are chastising the two brothers, Jagai and Madai, to give up drinking wine. And the poll will appear on your screen now to choose the right answer. And the correct answer is B. They are trying to preach the two brothers 𝐤𝐻𝐸 and 𝐤𝐸𝐬, who in turn wanted to beat them up. Thank you. So now let us have some detail of this pastime. One day, the two Prabhus saw the most simple drunkards, 𝐤𝐻𝐸 and 𝐤𝐸𝐬. On seeing their pathetic condition, the heart of Nityānanda and Haridas, the most merciful deliverers of fallen soul, began to cry. Considering the two brothers as brilliant example for Mahaprabhu's pastime of delivering fallen soul, they resolved to inform them of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's most auspicious instruction, despite the potential dangers in doing so. Thus, they loudly requested them to worship Krishna. On hearing the call of Nityānanda and Haridas Thakur, the two rogues thought that their carefree life was being disturbed, so they chased after the two sannyasis. Now let's move on to our last quiz video session. Again, identify the pastime of Sri Nityānanda Prabhu from the video. Let's watch it together. All right, and the answer A is he's joking with Shah Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya for half the price. B, he is joking with Sri Tapan Mishra about not serving properly. C, he is joking with Sri Sanatana Goswami about tasteless prasadam. D, he is joking with Sri Advaita Acharya about not feeding him properly. And the poll is on your screen. And you have 10 seconds to choose the right answer. And the correct answer is, D, he's joking with Advaita Acharya about not feeding him properly. Now let us learn a bit more on this particular pastime. In this way, by submitting various humble requests, Advaita Acharya made Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityānanda Prabhu eat. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fulfilled all the desire of Advaita Acharya. Nityānanda Prabhu jokingly said, "My belly is not yet filled up. Please take away your food. I have not taken the least of it." After saying this, he took a handful of rice and threw it on the floor in front of him as if he was angry. When 2 or 4 pieces of front rice touched his body, Advaita Acharya began to dance in various ways with the rice still stuck to his body. When the rice thrown by Nityānanda Prabhu touched his body, Advaita Acharya thought himself purified by the touch of raiment thrown by Parahamsa Nityānanda. Thank you. And of course, the quiz result and the winners will be announced at the end of the session. We see this opportunity to thank the devotees from Ganayatra, namely Kamal Nath Prabhu, Krishna Kanta Prabhu, Sureshwari Das, Manmohan Das, Chaitanya Bhagavat Prabhu, Guru Gauranga, Ishapriya, Chitraketu Prabhu, Gayatri Mataji, Bhavanapati, Dayarup Mataji, Dharma Atma Prabhu, Sarvajaya Mataji, Anjana Prabhu, Harisevani Mataji, Abadut Prabhu, Vishamurti Das, Ishwaketu Das, and Datri Mataji and Rishikesh Prabhu. Thank you very much for entertaining us in this quiz side, dearest devotees from Ghana. We are so grateful for your participation. Thank you. So now, dearest devotee, let us all move on to the second part of our program of this particular session. And now we are very happy to have with us His Holiness Bhakti Charudeśna Maharaj. His Holiness Bhakti Charudeśna Maharaj, the disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Swami, and has joined our ISKCON Society in 1987. He's from Ivory Coast. He took his first initiation in 1987 itself, and second initiation in 1995, and served as temple president in Ivory Coast. After many years as temple president and being involved in Harinam Sankirtan, book distribution, and deity worship, his spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Swami, sent him to India, to Mayapur and Vrindavan in 2002 to take the Bhakti Shastri and many other Vaishnava courses. Upon arrival to the Ivory Coast, his guru asked him to travel all over Africa and teach what he has learned. His Holiness Bhakti Charudeśna Maharaj took sannyas initiation from His Holiness Kavichandra Swami in June 2015. Now he served as coordinator of ISKCON West Africa for Francophone zone. He regularly traveled to preach, inspire devotees in Togo, Benin Republic, Burkina Faso, Congo, Mauritius, and he's one of our rare sannyasi who speak French. And to welcome him, we would like to invite Ramarupa Prabhu from Mauritius to please offer the garland to Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, kindly accept this Mahagarland on behalf of Srila Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami and the assembled devotees from Mauritius. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ramarupa Prabhu. Thank you so much, Maharaj. On vous souhaite la bienvenue. We welcome you and we invite you to start today's session. And the topic for Maharaj is pastime of Lord Nityānanda Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hari. Thank you very much for inviting me this wonderful program. A great appreciation and thanks to His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj for organizing this wonderful program. And thanks for all of the devotees who are here on this platform. Ammajhanam Trimeda Sujana Jana Shalakaya 𝐃𝐚𝐦𝐿 Tasmash Namaha Sri Sutanamano Visam Sakitayim Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadam Ayam Paradikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sutta Padakmalam Sri Guru Vasvam Cha Yurupam Sadaritam Sagunatam Tam Sajivam Savarukam Paitam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padasahagalita Sri Vitukam Sakta Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatate Gopishta Gopikanta Radhakanta Namaste Satsitana Gaura Dhira Devi Sahanasware Vishravanu Sute Devi Pranamame Hare Anchakalpataran Jasya Kripa Sandehe Vacha Vachitanam Pavanihyo Vaishnavigo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Samiti Namine Namaste Sarvasudeve Gaura Vanipachari Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Patsutadhikarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityānanda Sri Advaita Garadhar Shiva Hari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Mukam Mukalo Sivacharam Pangam Devim Ekripadat Avande Sigurum Jivatara. Okay, once again, I would like to thank the organizers of this wonderful program, in particular, His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Maharaj. This is the 7th global event, the appearance of Lord Nityānanda Prabhu. And I also like to appreciate and thank His Holiness Dhira Maharaj, who spoke before me. Actually, when an exalted Vaishnava, advanced soul like him speak, it's very difficult for a person like me to speak after him. Yeah, but I think his mercy is there for me, and the mercy of all the Vaishnavas was there for me to be able to say something. You know. Hare Krishna. So my topic is about the childhood pastime of Lord Nityānanda. What I received from the Mataji, childhood pastime of Lord Nityānanda. Yeah. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityānanda Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityānanda Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityānanda Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhaktivinoda. So the topic is about the appearance of Lord Nityānanda, in particularly the childhood pastime of Lord Nityānanda. So we all know that Lord Nityānanda is the same as Lord Balaram. Now, Krishna and Balaram, they performed the pastimes in Vrindavan, Lila, and again they did the same in Guru Lila. Okay, so in this Guru Lila, Lord Nityānanda is playing the same role also as the brother of Krishna. And from what we read from Chaitanya Bhagavat, on the order of Sri Gaura Krishna, Sri Anantashesha, Anantadev, personally appeared in the village of Ekachakra in the district of Trayodaśī from the womb of Padmavati, the wife of Adho. So Lord, Krishna appeared in Mathura, Vrindavan. Lord Chaitanya appeared in Navadvip. Okay, Lord Nityānanda appeared in Ekachakra, in Trayodaśī, in India, and his father was Adho, and the mother Padmavati. In the Adilila, Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila, it is mentioned in the verse 4, 5, and 6 that the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of God, that Sri Krishna, is the fountainhead of all incarnation. Lord Balaram is second body. It's verse 4. Verse 5 it says, these two are one and the same identity. They differ only in form. Lord Balaram, the first expression of Krishna, assists in pastime. Assists Krishna in pastime. Your seed says that original Lord Krishna appeared in Navadvip. Lord Chaitanya Prabhu and Balaram appeared with him as Lord Nityānanda. Yeah. So Nityānanda. Nityānanda means eternal bliss. Nityānanda. So in childhood, from the childhood in Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapter 9, you can read from there that in his childhood, Lord Nityānanda was very, very sober, intelligent, and above all, he was the abode of all good qualities. The entire district of Trayodaśī was filled with auspiciousness and devoid of famine and poverty for the time of his death. When Lord Nityānanda took birth in Chakra, no famine, no poverty, that area. This is Nityānanda, eternal bliss, always blissful. And it is said that also he remained hidden in his enjoy childhood pastime. The pastime of Lord enjoyed with the childhood find friends were all related to the activities of Lord Krishna. Because Lord Nityānanda is Lord Bhagavan, I say. So he is the expression, he manifests himself as the expression of Krishna's paraphernalia. So he's very conscious of Krishna all the time. So he remember all the pastime of Lord Krishna. So in his pastime, childhood pastime, he was always remembering these activities of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan, in Mathura also. Yeah. So he was so attached to Lord Krishna that he became the bracelets, garments, and ornaments. In the Gora Lila, he became also the bird. He became the expansion. He extended himself as the Lord Chaitanya's bird, resting place, umbrella, and is very soul and life. Lord Nityānanda is very, very, very clear, very dear to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we can see that Lord Nityānanda, as Dhira Maharaj, Dhira Maharaj said, to have the mercy of Srimati Radharani, must have the mercy of different person, even Jagannath. So he is very, 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 very merciful. Actually, to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you need to get the mercy of Lord Nityānanda. Nityānanda need bliss to be satisfied all the time, because as our constitution is, we are Satchit Ananda, and we are in full knowledge, supposed to be in full knowledge. We are eternal, and we are also full of bliss. And when those three things are lacking, they become like a plant without sufficient water. The leaves become pale and yellow and start falling one by one. So our life is not have any substance, strong substance, if we are not connected to Lord Nityānanda. Okay? So the Panchatattva, among the Panchatattva, because we chant Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityānanda, Sri Advaita Garidhar, Shiva Hari Gaur Bhakti. So Lord Nityānanda Prabhu also is there. He gave us this power power to enter in the secrets of the Mahamantra. So Lord Nityānanda is very, very important in our Krishna consciousness. Is actually when we talk about Lord Nityānanda is in the Guru Tattva. Guru Tattva means the spiritual master is always considered to be either one of the confidential associates of Srimati Radharani or a manifested representative of Lord Nityānanda. Yeah. So you can say that all the essence of the teachings from all the gurus of all the masters come from Lord Nityānanda. And when we speak about Srimati Radharani, she is very close to Sri Krishna. You know? Without Srimati Radharani, there is no Krishna. So Lord Nityānanda is occupying this key position in our service, in our spiritual life, in our progress, in our spiritual life. So in that way, Lord Nityānanda is from the beginning of our spiritual activities and at the end also. Okay. So Lord Nityānanda has so many pastimes, especially the pastime of Lord Nityānanda from his childhood. As mentioned in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Okay. Because he as an expansion of Krishna, it was very, very dear to Krishna. So all his pastimes were referred to Krishna. In his childhood pastime, Srimati Nityānanda Prabhu and his associates, childhood friends, remained engaged in imitating various pastimes of Lord Krishna. Sometimes he and his friends will form the assembly of the demigods, and sometimes dressed as mother heads, burdened by the atrocities of the demons, will come before the assembly and offer prayers. At that time, Srimati Nityānanda Prabhu and the boys who were part of that assembly will go to the bank of the river and pray to Lord 𝐁𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐴. Thereafter, the boy acting as 𝐁𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐴 will announce from a hidden place, I will soon appear in Mathura Gokula in order to diminish the burden of the heart. At other times, they imitated the various Dwapara pastime of Krishna, like the marriage of Vasudeva and Devaki, the birth of Krishna in the prison cell, Vasudeva's taking Krishna to the house of Nanda, Vasudeva returned with Mahamaya, the daughter of Yashoda, the killing of Putana, the breaking of Sakata, Krishna's stealing butter and milk from the house of the cow heads, the killing of Denuka, Aga, and Bakasura, tending the cows, lifting Govardhan, stealing Gopi's clothes, Krishna's bestowing mercy on the wives of the sacrificial Ramanas, Narada giving advice to Kamsa in this secluded place, and the killing of the elephant Kubalaya, the restless Varuna and Mustika, Kamsa. Sometimes in form of Varuna, Vamana, he deceived Bali. Sometimes while enacting the pastime of Rama, will gather his friends to form an army of monkey soldiers and build a bridge. He would personally play the role of Lakshman and approach the river with bow and arrows in his hands. In the form of Rama, he would diminish the pride of Parashuram, and while enacting the killing of Indrajit, he would fall unconscious in the mood of Lakshman. Having been hit by Indrajit's powerful arrow, Hanuman brought the sin under his previous direction and revived him. This way, he exhibited pastime of the various incarnations of the Lord. In this way, Srimati Nityānanda Prabhu engaged in enacting various pastimes up to the age of 12. Thereafter, on the pretext of purifying himself, he traveled to the holy places of Aryabhata and Dakshinatiya up to the age of 20. He then came to Navadvip and met his own Lord, Sri Varasundaram. In the course of visiting the holy places, Nityānanda Prabhu met Srimad Bhadramata Puri, Sripara Iswari Puri, and Srila Bhavananda Puri. This way, Srimad Nityānanda Prabhu passed 2 days discussing the topic of Krishna with Srimad Madhavendra Puri, who was accompanied by his disciples. Thereafter, he proceeded to Setubanda, Anustipta, Mayapuri, Avanti, Godavari, Jadan, Shima, and Devapuri, Himmala, Kurmakshitra, and many other holy places before arriving in Nilachala. At Nilachala, he saw Jagannathadeva, the source of the 𝐗𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐿, and became overwhelmed in ecstasy. From Sri Chitra, he returned to Mathura. This chapter ends with an explanation of why he did not exhibit the pastime of distributing the holy names and love of God at that time, and the glorification of Sri Nityānanda Prabhu, who is not different from the omnipotent Baladev. So you see, the best Lord Nityānanda Prabhu is a very confidential servant of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he had two wives. I think they are Vasudha and Revati Devi, and later on, Vasudha left the body, and Janaki Ma, she took over and she taking care of all the children of the younger sister, and later on she became very powerful guru, and she was initiating many people, both men and women, and she was organizing also very big festival in Navadvip. Just to see that she is because she's the wife of the powerful Srimad Nityānanda, she could also exhibit this power, devotional power in her life, and affected so many souls during her time. And one time, she went to assist one Bhagavatam class, and she was, while listening to the class, she was at the same time she was chanting Maha Mantra. So the speaker, looked at her and said, "Why are you pretending? How is it possible for someone to do two things at the same time? How can you listen to the Bhagavatam class lecture and at the same time, chanting Maha Mantra? This is distraction." She kept quiet. But she was advanced, and she said that I, by the blessing of my Guru and Vaishnavas, I've developed the habit, of continuously chanting the Maha Mantra. I can't stop. Whatever I'm doing, wherever I go, anytime, any place, I might chant this Maha Mantra. So I cannot stop. It's not my fault. I'm not pretending. So the story goes that later on, that person giving the class got leprosy, and because of the offense she committed against the elevated soul. So Lord Nityānanda Prabhu is we need his potency, his assistance, his blessing for us to be able to continue in this devotional service. Because being a devotee in Kali Yuga, our senses, our mind is already contaminated with so many things, and we need that bliss. It's like Balaram. Bala-Rama. We need spiritual strength. So Lord Balaram gave us that, and to be able to abandon the pleasure, the so-called pleasure in this material world, we need the mercy, we need the blessing of Lord Nityānanda, because he's called Nitya. Nitya is having this bliss eternally, is eternally blissful, all the time blissful. Unless you are happy, unless we are above the material desire and pleasure, we cannot fully worship Krishna. One verse in Bhagavad Gita, I think chapter 2, verse 44, say that those who are too much involved with material desire, they cannot serve the Lord with full determination. Yeah. So sometimes in our devotional service, a lot of obstacles in the way. And most of these obstacles come from material desire. Because devotional service is actually not meant for us, because so many lifetimes we have been moving around in this material existence. So when you come in touch to the devotional service, yes, we have the desire to progress. At the same time, we have so many other desires that are disturbing us. So two things cannot go at the same time. Material desire and spiritual desire cannot go the same way. They are in opposite directions. One goes to the left and one goes to the right. What to do? So we need the blessing. Baba has mentioned Nityānanda is the Guru Tattva. Is considered to be the confidential associates of Srimati Radharani, or the manifested representative of Nityānanda. This is the Siddha Master. So when you see Siddha Master is representing Lord Nityānanda, is the expression of Lord Nityānanda. Yeah. So it's very important for us to have His mercy. There is one interesting song of prayer that we have to do while we need the mercy of Lord Nityānanda. It says, this is a Dhara Mo Nityānanda from Narottam Das Thakur. It says, my treasure is Lord Nityānanda. My master is Lord Gaurachandra. And my very last course is the youthful divine couple of Raja. My strength is Advaita Acharya. My family is Garadha Pandit. Narahari Sukha Sarakara is my very activity. Another nice song also is called Nitai Gunamani. Says, my Lord Nityānanda is the jewel of all good qualities. My Lord Nityānanda, the jewel of all good qualities, has brought the fruit of ecstatic love of Goddess, of God that drawn the entire world, bringing this overwhelming deluge of prema. When he returned to Bengal from Jaganpuri on Lord Chaityanya's order, Nimai has inundated the assembly of devotees. The fallen non-devotees did not drown, however, but remained floating on that ecstatic ocean. Lord Nityānanda freely offered his exalted prema, which is difficult for Lord Brahma to attain, even to the fallen and wretched souls who were not desirous of receiving it. The ocean of mercy had formerly been filled heavily, but Nityānanda cut the channel in its boundary to allow the great flooding waves of Nityānanda prema to splash from house to house. Nityānanda says, whoever has not worshipped my Nityānanda or taken advantage of this excellent opportunity offered by him, not only commits suicide. So, as I said, Lord Nityānanda is very, very, very important. Actually, we need his mercy, because he was giving the mercy to those who were not even qualified. And as Dhira Maharaj was saying, that the story of 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐝𝐴, he paid it in, for Chaitanya Prabhu not to react very much, because he said, how many 𝐤𝐢𝐬𝐢 you're going to kill? Or everyone, this Kali Yuga, in this material world, all of them, they are 𝐤𝐢𝐬𝐢. So if you want to kill those two, then get ready to exterminate the whole, everyone. Yeah. So Lord Nityānanda is waiting for us to give his blessing, his blessing, because we need that to progress. And even non-devotees also, according to this Nitai Gunamayi song, non-devotees do not drown, however they remain floating in that ecstasy. It means, even though we come close to Lord Nityānanda, and we are not ready to enter into deep connection with him, but still we'll be having mercy by floating on that ecstatic ocean. Yeah. So one day there is a story of Lord Nityānanda. They went to first time to meet. The first time about sent is associated to go and find Lord Nityānanda. And they went and searched everywhere, and they came back and said, no, we could not find him. And he told them, how did you manage? Didn't find him? Yes, we went from door to door. We knocked all the doors. No, this is not the way. That is not the way to find Lord Nityānanda. It's not the way. So he showed them how to do it. Took Sanga and Karatals and chanting loudly the Maha Mantra, and that way that manifested. Yes. So Nityānanda and Gaura, that's the chant his name. Why we chant Nityānanda, Nitai, Lord Gauranga is very happy. When we chant Gaura, Lord Nityānanda is very happy. Yeah. So Lord Nityānanda is helping us. He's the one who is going to help us. So we always have to pray to him. We have to pray to him to help us to elevate our consciousness, to help us to rise above these obstacles, so many obstacles, this devotional service. Yeah. And another name of Nityānanda is Ananta One of the pastime also is that one day he jumped into he jumped in the crocodile infested in the river. The fearless and carefree Nityānanda Prabhu would sometimes jump in the crocodile infested monsoon flood water of Ganga, adopting the mood of Lord Anantashesha. The Lord felt completely at home in the waters of the Ganga. Lord Nityānanda would swim about in the water, floating, laughing, and splashing. Devotees on the bank would hold their breath in anxiety. At times, due to ecstatic love of Krishna, Lord Nityānanda will enter an unconscious trance for 3 or 4 days. Whatever the pastime Lord Krishna has performed to please his devotee were also performed by the son of Padmavati as he played with his village friends. Sometimes Nityānanda taught his boyfriend the payasam of Lord Ramachandra. For his drama, he arranged everything as an exact replica of the places and incidents which had been described by Valmiki and Ramayana. So to be able to do that means he has to be Krishna conscious. So by reading the teaching, the reading something about Lord Nityānanda, we are learning how to design a proper consciousness, a proper way to be always Krishna conscious. Because our ISKCON name is International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So the best way, to be to improve, to progress in our Krishna consciousness is to follow somebody, a person like Lord Nityānanda, who is always conscious of Krishna and conscious of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu. That's the best way. Because unless we are conscious all the time, we cannot advance. Two things are there. Our mind will always drag us to material things that we have to pull that mind. Whenever the mind is dragging you to, bring it back. You let the feet of Krishna. Yeah. So Lord Nityānanda, being so close to Krishna, being so conscious of Krishna, by worshiping him, by reading things about him, by associating with him, then we will develop in a very wonderful way our Krishna consciousness. Because to be able to relate all the pastime of Krishna in childhood means was conscious of that. And those pastimes they happen in previous lives. All these lila Krishna performed in Vrindavan, Lord Nityānanda related them all exactly in Gaur-lila. Yeah. So we have approach. We need the mercy. We need the mercy of Lord Nityānanda to progress in a very quick way in our devotion service. In that way, our service will be accepted by Lord Gauranga, by Lord Krishna, and we will enter in this confidential secret of Chaitanya Prabhu, Lord Nityānanda, and the Panchatattva. Yes. Kali-yuga means we have any strength to really do anything. We need mercy of the Vaishnavas, mercy of the Guru, mercy of Lord Nityānanda, mercy of Lord Gauranga. So, although Lord, the appearance day of Lord Nityānanda is in March, 3rd March. So I asked the Mataji who sent the link, who invited me. I said, Lord Nityānanda's appearance day is on March 3rd March. Why you are doing that now? Said, yes, because that day many devotees will be busy celebrating their temples. But yes, it's good idea. Because now today we are discussing peacefully, and also on the very day on the 3rd March, I think so. Then we can also celebrate with Abhishek and many other things. So it's an honor for me to be part of this wonderful Sanga, this platform, to be able to say something little for my purification, and I hope that it also will help you in whatever way. So since there is some questions, maybe I can stop here and take some few questions and see what next. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. We can take one question if anyone has any questions for Maharaj in regard to this topic, to this pastime. There was so if we have any question for Maharaj, kindly raise your virtual hand, or you can send in the chat box. Okay, we have one question, and that question is how to control the sudden urges of the senses and the mind, which are full of lust, where the moment seems too hard to tolerate.
Call again, please.
Yes. So, Maharaj, the question is how to control the sudden urges of the senses and the mind, which are full of lust, and at times it's hard to tolerate those lust, deep desires.
Well, I didn't get the last part very well, but I get the question. I have to control the mind from lustful desires.
Yeah. in general, that's it.
So, Bhagavad Gita, third chapter, third chapter, Arjuna was asking a question to Krishna, that what is pushing people to commit sinful activities as if they were forced to do that. So Krishna told him that it is loss which is behind everything, and loss is devastating, destroying our knowledge to know Krishna, and that loss is hidden in three places: and the mind, and the senses, and the intelligence. Yeah, that's all. We have to use those three things: the mind, the senses, and the intelligence to serve Krishna. We have to use our mind to think of Krishna. That's what Krishna says, Man manamam bhakvato. We have to always our minds, to offer our minds to Krishna. Our intelligence. We have to develop spiritual intelligence by reading the Vedas, the Vedic literatures. It's called Shastra Chakshu. By reading the Shastras regularly, and we develop spiritual intelligence. And our senses, okay, we have to use our senses to serve the Lord. The eyes, the nose, the ears, the mouth, everything. We must use them fully. You know? So in that way, gradually, material desires will disappear. And also, it's a good opportunity, as we are saying. We have to approach Lord Nityānanda because he is eternally blissful. We can be blissful in this material world for a few moments. After that, we go into some sorrow again. Because this world is up and down. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're not happy. And we need to be permanently happy. Yeah. So the best way is to approach the Nityānanda and to get his mercy. So by having his mercy, we will also be floating in this bliss for a long period. But enjoy for 1 hour and come down again. It's like Srila Prabhupada was, in America, the hippies taking some drugs, some LSD to, stay higher for some time. You take a drug, you'll be happy, your mind. And when the effects of the drugs is over, when you come to the reality that, oh, actually, I'm not happy. Yeah, so we need the mercy of Lord Nityānanda for us to continuously and permanently, be happy. Even though we have the Bhagavad Gita given us some direction, that's the best way is to pray to Lord Nityānanda. And we will get it, this Ananda, Nityānanda. And by the best way to do that is chant Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare, and serve Vaishnava.
Jai. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for this wonderful class that you delivered, especially on the pastime, and to make us understand the importance of Lord Nityānanda Prabhu as being the most confidential servitor of Krishna, and also a very important quote that struck me when you said that material life and spiritual life can't go in the same direction. Remembering the words of His Holiness Bhakti Swami, where he said, material life and spiritual life goes ill together. So thank you for that reminder, and that we should always be prayerful and to the lotus feet of Lord Nityānanda. Thank you for joining us, Maharaj, for this evening for our first session on our online program. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dearest devotees. So now let us all just take a flight toward Nairobi and be with the Nairobi devotees, with the Nairobi Yatra for a performance, a dance performance that they have prepared. So let us all join them. Thank you. Hare Krishna. We would like to thank all the kids from Nairobi deeply from our heart for this wonderful and beautiful videos that they made. For the pleasure, Lord Nityānanda. We pray to Lord Nityānanda to keep on empowering our children so that they can continue with our tradition. So now, dearest devotees, I know you all have participated in our quiz session, and you do want to know who are the winners, right? So right now on your screen, let's see the quiz result for the session. And the winner was with the first question. On the third position is Bhakti Kamini Sinha. Second position is Simran Grover. And on first position is Dr. Ashish Gupta. And for question 2, third position, Dr. Pratik. Second position, Dr. Mayur Shah. And first position is Bhakti Simran Grover. Third question, third position, Dr. Sachin. Second position, Dr. Mayur Shah. And on first position is His Grace President Tagora Das Prabhu. And all glories to all of you, all glories to all the winners, and all glories to all the participants, because what matters is that we do participate in the activities, right? So now, dearest devotees, let's stay in Nairobi, because now we have a very nice bhajan session being prepared by the devotees in Nairobi. Let us join them in glorifying Lord Nityānanda on your screen. Hare Krishna. To all the devotees in Nairobi, we would like to thank you again and again for this wonderful bhajan, which is so heart-touching and which brings so much bliss to the heart. And we pray that Lord Nityānanda always favor you with his glance of mercy. Now, dear devotees, we are coming towards the end of the program, and let us share with you what is in store, what activities we have for you all for tomorrow, session 2 of our online event. So tomorrow, we are very happy to welcome His Holiness Kavichandra Maharaj, who will speak about the pastime of Lord Nityānanda, and we will be having our special quiz, followed by a talk by His Grace Srivas Vanachari Prabhu, and then of course we will end with drama and bhajan. So stay tuned, stay connected. And now, dear devotees all around the world, we would like to thank you for being with us this evening or afternoon at some end. And we hope to see you again tomorrow, same time for another session, for session 2 of our online event. Until we meet, we would like to wish you all a blissful evening and see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Shri Nityānanda Prabhu ki Jai. Gurudev ki Jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Nadiya Gojru mein Nityānanda Mahajan. 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 Bhatiya che naam hat jibe rakharan. 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 Shradhavan jan hai, Shradhavan jan hai. 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 Prabhu aa gaye bhai magiye bhikha. 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 Bolo Krishna bhajo Krishna koro Krishna shika. 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 Aparada shunna hoy loho Krishna naam. 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 Krishna mata Krishna pita Krishna dana pran. 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 Krishna samsara kora chariya nacha. 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 Jivedaya Krishna nam sarva dharmasha. 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 Shradhavan jan hai, Shradhavan jan hai. 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 Nadiya Gojru mein Nityānanda Mahajan. 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 Bhatiya che naam hat jibe rakharan. 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,